Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow, pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke, lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow, pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke, lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from the beautiful Kentucky Speedway as the Premium Stock Car Racing League rumbles into their 8th race of the season. Each and every one of these drivers is going to be looking for the win here this evening. If you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the like button on the broadcast for us. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today as these drivers are going to get ready to rock and roll for 167 laps of racing action here this evening as we're going to get ready for our opening command brought to you by Mr. Lonnie Crider, man. Shout out to Lonnie coming in with the opening command to fire engines here this evening.
It might be March Madness, but I'll tell you what, we're going to have some March Madness out there on the racetrack with these guys that's racing tonight. Good luck tonight, guys. God bless America. God bless everybody. Gentlemen, start those engines and let's go racing.
Alrighty, shout out there to Mr. Lonnie Crider coming in with the opening command here this evening as we get these drivers ready to rumble, ready to rock and roll. Anna in the chat, how are you, Anna? Mrs. Alessandro coming in, showing the love here, and this one says hello in the comment section. Hello, Anna, how you doing today? Hopefully you're having yourself a very fine Saturday night as each and every one of these drivers are ready to go to battle. They're going to get rolling out onto the racetrack here. We're starting in the pole position here this evening. It is the 88 rider, Grant Wesley. Wesley will start in the top spot with TJ Allen there to his outside, starting in position number 2. Starting back in the 3rd position in the 6th ride, it's Brian Underwood. To his outside will be the 3 of Jonathan E. Lardo. Starting in position number 5 in the number 72 ride, that is Mr. Jonathan Gaston. Is Gaston going to be looking for a big run here this evening? Again, trying to pick up his money that he's got on the line here this evening. Willie Smith starting there in position number 6. Good to see Willie here tonight as well. Good to see Mr. Smith back out there on the racetrack, not only on Sundays, but now maybe here on Saturdays as well. As Josh Crider there in 7th in that beautiful Rubbered Up Productions number 5 ride. He'll have Melvin Brengro to his outside with the 10 of, I do believe that is Jordan Hand in the 10 ride here this afternoon. Starting in 9th, Sean Wilder will start to his outside, rounding out our top 10. As we see the number 31 of Brandon Holder, the 14 of Jack Fletcher, bringing up row number 6. The 1 of Jeremy Jeffries, the 17 ride. New driver out there on the Speedway, the 17 machine of Tyler Honeycutt will start in position, I do believe position number 14 out there on the racetrack. Then we see Abram Ghostin, Farrell Robbins, Jordan Crider, Sean Merriman, Brad Neer in the 16, Nicholas Torres there in that beautiful number 20 ride, John Sheen in the 55, going to be starting, I believe, his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as well. So a few new drivers out there as we do see Scott Lee, Nathan Brookover, another new driver in Rem Wyatt in the 24 ride as he'll start back, or the 60 ride. Starting back in the 24th position, the Waffle House Machine out there on the Speedway and bringing up the rear of the field. That is the Simu Cube Ford Mustang of Danny White. So 25 drivers going to take the green flag here this evening, and they're being led by driver that's new here to the season, and a driver that his first race here, starting in that outside lane in the Hulkamania ride, the Hulkamania number 51, gonna start there in position number 2. But out in front, it's all Grant Wesley as he's got our champions back there behind him in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, the 2-time champion and last season's champion right there, as well as the champion in season 2 here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. All over the back bumper of that 88 and for Grant Wesley. Great launch, great start as we see one driver up into the outside fence. Oh, big hit there for the 16 of Brad Neer. Heavy damage early on. Caution flag is on the Speedway. First lap, first caution here this evening, and I believe Brad Neer going to get a ton of damage here. He's going to be probably having to use that quick repair up early this afternoon as things kind of get a little stacked up here. There you see the 20 ride going around. That's where the caution flag does get displayed, but it just seems like the outside lane here down into quarter number 1 gets a little stacked up. So they send it in there. 16 gets into the back end of Jordan Crider. The 20 of Torres gets into his back bumper. Here comes the 7 of Brookover, who gets into that 20 ride. And you do see the 16 running near down the racetrack into the newcomer, the 55 there of John Sheen. Nowhere to go for Sheen to go as the 16 up into the outside fence. Very heavy damage there for him. And you take a look at Nicholas Torres and the 7 of Brookover. They end up getting into the fence here as well. Pretty solid damage for both those drivers. 20 comes back up the track, squeezes the 7 up into the outside fence. Pretty solid damage there for both of those cats as well out there on the racetrack. And off the initial start, we did see a black flag for the number 51 of TJ Allen. I'm not sure if he kind of got a little bit of a jump here on the initial start. I believe he beat the race leader to the start-finish line, so I don't know if he got a little bit of an extra launch here, a little bit better of a launch than the 88, but wait till the end of the box. He fires kind of right there at the end of the box, but he beats the race leader back to the start-finish line. iRacing gave him a black flag, and I believe as he ends up going up the racetrack here, he's just trying to move up and out of the way here. I think he's trying to serve that penalty. Obviously, there's chaos back there behind him, but obviously falls back quite a bit, and unfortunately for that number 51 ride, he's going to have to restart deeper in the field here, and obviously not the start that he wanted, not the start that I think the 55 ride of John Sheen or Brad Neer, Torres, or Nathan Brookover had drawn up here this afternoon. Unfortunately for all 4 drivers, they find themselves down pit side trying to get their cars repaired, and for TJ Allen, he scored back in the 5th position, so you'll start a little bit farther back here on this restart, so we'll have to wait and see if he can try to battle his way back up there, get that Great Lakes Sim number 51 up there towards the front of the field here as the Hulkamania ride looking fresh out there on the speedway. Let's take a look at this car. It's got a beautiful, yeah, there's the Hulkamania on the front right there, man. Beautiful looking ride. Whoever did this thing, man, it is looking fresh out there on the speedway. That is for certain. And then you take a look at Jordan Hands as well. Jordan's kind of got the comic book looking ride here this afternoon. Let's see if we get a little look here. Rest in peace, Jaden. Oh, beautiful Spider-Man memorial paint scheme here for Jaden. Not sure who Jaden is, but our hearts and prayers go to Jaden and his family and friends, as that is always it's always beautiful to see these memorial paint schemes out there, man, and obviously for Jordan had a special one this afternoon with the rest in peace, Jaden, and obviously our hearts and prayers go out to him and his family, as the 10 ride has a beautiful looking car and a heavy heart here this evening. We'll see if Hand can try to work this beautiful looking machine up and into victory lane as he's going to get ready to restart back in about the 11th position on the speedway. So we'll see if he can work his way forward, try to gain a couple more spots, and try to work his way back inside the top 10 and into the battle here this evening as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing after an opening lap issue. An opening lap caution flag kind of got things a little bit more cool, calm, and collected here. We'll see if things, get a little bit more intense, though. Obviously, for the 88 of Grant Wesley, he's going to hope to try to keep these guys back there behind him, but he does have our 2-time champion there to his outside, last season's champion, Jonathan Gaston, right on his back bumper, as he's going to have a lot of pressure here around him. And then you do see Elardo and TJ Allen ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here. Willie Smith up there as well, that beautiful Mountain Dew number 75 ride, ready to go to work here at Kentucky Speedway as Wesley gets a great launch, great drive down through that Geico restart zone, and he is able to pull a couple car lengths ahead of here of Jonathan Gaston, but Gaston trying to track him down, and you do see one of those drivers coming back out onto the racetrack after exiting pit lane a little bit late here, unfortunately for Nathan Brookover. I believe this is going to put him 2 laps down. This is going to put him into a very, very difficult position. Obviously, he's not in that lucky dog spot as Brad Neer ended up losing a lap down pit side. Neer is in the lucky dog spot, so if there is another quick caution flag or 2 here this evening, Brad Neer is going to get him first before we see Brookover start to get a wave around here, as you do see Gaston trying to work his way around that number 7 ride. Right there with him is Brian Underwood, but Gaston up into second here, but out in front, man, Grant Wesley leading the charge, looking very strong here at the front of the field in the opening laps here at Kentucky Speedway. And for the Menards Ford Mustang, he's hoping that he can keep himself in the top spot and hoping to find his way into victory lane here this evening. But still a lot of laps left to go. 160 laps still here this afternoon. And for each and every one of these drivers, they know they're going to have a couple stages. They're going to have a couple stage breaks. They're going to have a couple opportunities to either get laps back or try to keep themselves on the lead lap and not fall too far behind if they need to make changes or if they need to try to get that track position. They got a couple different things that they can try to do here throughout this feature event. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what that game plan is here for a lot of these drivers. I feel we're going to be shy on fuel here in this first stage. I believe we're probably going to see everybody down pit road before the end of stage number 1. And then stage number 2, things get a little bit more interesting as it's going to be not necessarily 40 laps of racing action. And if you throw in a couple caution flags, obviously that could definitely make some drivers try to stretch that fuel out, maybe try to go for a full run there in that second stage, and hope that it puts them into a good position to try to get some good stage points here. We could see some drivers even trying to do that here in stage number 1, especially with that opening caution flag. Obviously a lot of drivers were already on the ball trying to save a little bit of fuel here. We'll see if somebody's able to gamble here, try to take a bit of a risk and hope that they can work themselves into a good position here at the end of stage number 1. As Grant Wesley, though, out in front, Gaston, and now Jonathan Elardo are top 3 as that beautiful Clemson Tigers number 3 ride up and into that 3rd position. Brian Underwood back behind him in position number 4. Moving up through the field is the 31 of Brandon Holder as he's up 6 positions early in this race. And for the Cellier Chevrolet, he finds himself now inside the top 5. He's got Jordan Crider, Branker right there behind him, our outside pole sitter, that Hulkamania number 51 rider, TJ Allen back in position. Number 8 on the Speedway with Jordan Hand in the 99 of Shaw Wilder, rounding out our top 10. Jack Fletcher's there in 11th. Tyler Honeycutt in that Fastenal number 17 Ford Mustang. He's worked his way up and into that 12th position on the Speedway as Jeremy Jeffrey, Sean Merriman right there behind him and working his way inside the top 15 early on here this evening is that 64 of Danny White. Danny is able to work his way up and into position number 15. That puts him up 10 spots early in this feature event. 10 positions he's already gained here in this race. So Danny White is on a march to the front here. We'll see if he can keep on tracking him down, putting him down, and putting these cars back behind him and try to work his way up towards that top 10. Unfortunately, going the opposite direction is that Mountain Dew number 75 rider, Willie Smith. Any of the Willie Smith fans in the stands here this evening as Willie finds himself now back in about the 16th position, down 10 spots from where he started. So Danny White's up 10. Willie Smith is down 10 out there on the racetrack as Farrell Robbins rolls there in 17th. Rem Wyatt there in 18th. Scott Lee and John Sheen in position number 20 out there on the Speedway. Abram Ghostin in 21st. Nicholas Torres, Jordan Crider, Brad Neer, first car 1 lap down out there on the racetrack, currently scored in 24th. And Brookover, unfortunately, 2 laps down, scored back here in that 25th spot on the racetrack as each and every one of these drivers trying to navigate their way forward. Here is the 60 ride, that beautiful Waffle House machine, his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. So huge shout out here to some of our first-time drivers here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, at least to my knowledge. Rem Wyatt, John Sheen in the 55 ride, the 75 of Willie Smith, Tyler Honeycutt, and I believe TJ Allen, all new drivers here in this season. So shout out there to the 5 new cats out there on the racetrack to bring in the car count and to bring in the fun and entertainment for all the fans in the stands out there on the Speedway as Jonathan Gaston has consumed that race lead. Unfortunately, looks like maybe run a little too hard, a little too aggressive early on in this race. Grant Wesley has slid all the way back into that 7th position here on the speedway, and that's going to be one of the keys to success here this evening. It's all about tire management, making sure that you're not burning your stuff up too quickly, making sure you got good tires throughout the run, not just at the start of the run here. You need to have something left in the tank for later on, especially as other drivers start to schedule, they start to burn their stuff up. You can start to work your way through the field or back to the front of the pack here, as we do see the 72 of Gaston able to get the power down out of corner number 2. He keeps that race lead as here comes Underwood now rolling to the outside here. Jonathan Elardo trying to jump back into position number 2, and right there with him on their back bumper, you do see Brandon Holder, Josh Crider, they're door to door for position number 4 on the speedway. Grant Wesley and TJ Allen right there, as well as TJ's trying to hang with them. Here comes Jordan Hayden in that beautiful number 10 ride, trying to work his way up and into the action here at the front of the field. It's Jack Fletcher in that beautiful rigid Home Depot at number 14 ride, now inside the top 10, scored in that 9th position with Melvin Brengerer rounding out our top 10, but he's got Tyler Honeycutt right there to his inside. Honeycutt is looking to try to take over that 10th position, and for the first time here in his Premium Stock Car Racing League career, looking to join the top 10 out there on the speedway. As Gaston, though, out in front, he's got some money on the line here. Gaston put some money up and into the action here, so we'll have to wait and see if potentially, you know, he can try to get that money again, if he can try to keep that money in his back pocket, or if somebody's gonna jump up and potentially steal that money from him here this evening. It's going to be easier said than done, that is for certain. We'll have to wait and see, because obviously if he wants to try to keep his money, he's going to have to try to find a way to get it done out there on the speedway, and it's going to be easier said than done to get that done and try to get that money into his back pocket here this afternoon. I believe it's $15. Let's bring the logo up right here. So a bounty on these races brought to you by Jonathan Gaston and Gastons Graphics here, as he's putting up $15 award for the winner of each race there at Bristol, Pocono, and Kentucky. We're here at Kentucky this afternoon, so $15 up for grabs for one of these drivers. Unfortunately, he had a great run, great drive, was not able to claim the win last week at Bristol. He came very, very close. He had a car that I think probably could have won the race. Unfortunately, some late race pit stops, and unfortunately just a in-time pit stop there for the 72 cost him the dub there at Bristol Motor Speedway, and he did not get to find victory lane. Unfortunately, had to pay out that $15 to our race winner, so he'll be looking to try to save himself $15 here in this one. He doesn't want to lose another 15. He wants to make sure he can keep all these drivers back behind him and back up into victory lane. But man, what a showing, what a drive here. Obviously for that number 72 ride last week, with such a good run, such a good drive, and being able to put himself into, you know, a potential winning position. And obviously he ended up getting a ton of points there as well. Really set him up nicely, as I do believe we saw, who picked up the win last week, chat? Now I can't remember. Was it Brandon Holder? It might have been Brandon Holder picking up his second win on the season there last Saturday night. So it was either Holder or Underwood. Maybe it was Brian Underwood. I think it was Brian. Oh, man, now I'm second guessing. I can't remember. Chat. So many races in between that it's kind of faded my memory here, but I do know that Gaston, man, he had a hell of a run, hell of a drive out there. I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Holder who picked up the dub, though, and stole the $15 away from Jonathan Gaston with some really, really good pitch strategy. If my memory does serve me right, it was that 31 ride, and obviously you see Brandon Holder, he's right back up here. He's in the top 10. He was just inside the top 5, but now has fallen back into that 8th position, so we'll see see if he can try to hang on to that cellular Chevrolet and keep himself right up here in the battle, as you do see Grant Wesley trying to work his way back inside the top 5 here. Jordan Hands on his back bumper, pushing him right on and around that 51 of TJ Allen. Allen will slide again back into that 7th position. Grant Wesley will slide back into 6 as Jordan Hand works his way up inside our top 5. And now Gaston's got some company here at the front of the field. Jonathan's got the 6 of Brian Underwood taking a look down to his inside as they head down and at corner number 4, back down across the line. The outside momentum going to keep Gaston, though, out in front and continue to lead the way as 25 laps completed here in stage number 1. 15 laps left to go here in this stage. So for Gaston, man, he is looking good. He's looking strong again this evening. Will he be able to capture the win out there on the speedway? It's going to be a dogfight here all evening long. And it's going to come down, I think, to this final stage. That final stage, the final, 80 laps or so once we go back to green flag racing after that stage 2 break on lap number 80. It'll probably be close to that 80, maybe 82, 83 laps of green flag racing, or potentially we could see a couple caution flags in there. But I know these drivers, man, they get a lot of good green flag laps. Their green flag rate is really, really strong, and it's been strong here. So we'll see if it's another just long green run that kind of really forces these drivers to maybe make 1 or 2 green flag pit stops, and that could open up the door for some different pit strategies, whether it's early pits, late pits, and everything else we saw last week. That the earlier pit for the 31 of Brandon Holder paid off and put him up and into victory lane. Gaston waited a whole lot longer, did not work out into his favor. Now he was able to battle his way back up, able to pull out a top 3 run. Unfortunately, though, just was not enough to, not enough time for him to reel back in to that 31 ride and put himself back into the race lead and potentially into the winner's circle last week. So we kind of let that one fade away, man. He kind of let that one slip through his fingertips. I'm sure here tonight he's gonna try his best not to let this one slip away either. If he's in line, if he's in a golden position late in this race to potentially get the win. Oh man, what a save right there for Jordan Hand. Let's take a look back at this one as the 51 of TJ Allen gets up the racetrack here a little bit, right into his left rear quarter panel. Oh man, that was a very close call there for that number 10 ride of Jordan Hand, as that was very, very close to seeing him go around right here. You see the car slideways right there as the contact comes up the racetrack. 51, Okamania gets a little piece of him there. Great piece of driving, able to hang on to it, able to collect it and keep that car pointing in the right direction there for Jordan Hand. His hand rolls back in that 4th position, but now looking for position number 3. He makes a little contact there with that 3 car of Jonathan Elardo, as you see the 6 of Brian Underwood looking to take the race lead. But here comes Gaston, the G-Man, down the inside, gonna lead lap number 30 here this evening. So for the G-Man, man, he's trying to keep himself out in front, but Underwood is trying to take it away from him here with only 10 laps left to go in this stage. As here we go, Jordan Hands right into the battle. Here comes Elardo. Here comes that 51 of TJ Allen. Tyler Honeycutt, his first time inside the top 5. Here comes Honeycutt down low in that beautiful 17 ride. As okay, here we go, green flag pit stops getting started. Looks like it's going to be Jonathan Gaston who will lead us down pit side for the first time here this evening. Elardo, Honeycutt, TJ Allen, Brian Underwood, Willie Smith, Farrell Robbins, Melvin Brengruer, Abram Ghostin all come down pit side. Jordan Hand, Danny White, Jeremy Jeffries, John Sheen, they all stay out here. So we'll see how much farther they can roll, how much farther they go out there on the speedways. It looks like for that 10 ride this time by, he's going to head down pit side. So here we go. Here comes Jordan Hand. Here comes Jeremy Jeffries. Looks like Danny White's going to stay out. He'll lead a lap here at Kentucky Speedway. So he gets a lap led. John Sheen now up into position number 2. We'll see if he stays out as well, as we do see Lonnie Crider. He's not yet to come down pit side, and I believe we did see, oh no, the 60 ride of Rem Wyatt. Rem Wyatt, unfortunately for the drive-through records, the Waffle House number 60 ride, black flag speeding, exiting pit road. Looks like he will have to serve a penalty down pit road here. Pass through penalty or potentially a hold penalty here for that 60 ride. So he'll be looking to find pit road here again in a quick hurry. Scott Lee down pit road. Same with Jeremy Jeffries in the 1 ride. Looks like John Sheen's going to come down pit side, and another newcomer going to end up with the black flag down pit side. Black flag too fast entering pit road for the 55 ride of John Sheen. Sheen, unfortunately, will get that penalty as we see Jordan Crider and Danny White, our race leader, down pit side here. He'll give up that race lead. That should cycle things back around, and I believe it's the 3 ride. Jonathan Elardo, who's going to end up with the top spot here. Sean Merriman, who was down pit side on lap number 16, made a much earlier pit stop than everybody else. The 18 ride now finds himself in position number 3 on the speedway. It'll be position number 2 here once they cycle back around Danny White as Danny rolling and trying to exit pit road here, hoping to put himself still in a good position. Unfortunately, as he kind of hits the exit of pit road, he will see the race leaders go on by him, and now here comes Gaston. Jonathan want to work his way back to the point here. Knows that if he can try to jump up, maybe try to win this stage, obviously earns a lot of stage points to use to his back pocket, but also that bonus playoff point could definitely be a huge benefit if he wants to try to go back-to-back here on these championships in this season. So we'll see if he can try to get around the 5 of Crider, try to work his way around Elardo and Merriman, but he's only going to get 5 more laps to try it. As here we go, Merriman takes a big run, works his way around the 3 machine. Here comes Elardo trying to battle back down to the inside, though, as Anna says, let's go, Jordan Hand. Cheered on Jordan out there on the speedways. Right now, Jordan sits back at about the 10th position on the speedway. Actually, no, the 8th position on the speedway in the number 10 car. We'll see if he can try to work his way a little closer here to the front of the field, maybe try to get a little bit better stage points here on the evening. But for right now, it's Sean Merriman who holds on to the top spot. Jack Fletcher out there as well. He's going to jump up into position number 2 as Elardo falls back into 3rd. Josh Crider and the 72 of Mr. Gaston still beating and banging, battling here as you do see Jack Fletcher jump out in front. So I believe for Fletcher, he came down pit road. I got to see his suspicion that the 14 ride may have taken fresh tires there during his pit stop. So he's showing a lot of speed, a lot of pace here, and I don't know if you get that without potentially having fresh tires over the rest of these drivers. Now he's trying to run a lot slower. He's trying to back the pace down, so that way he's not burning up too much here too early, so he's not at a huge disadvantage after the stage break, and we see more drivers kind of go down pit side, put fresh tires on. He may be a sitting duck there throughout that second stage, but obviously trying to pick up the stage win here. Big bonus point in his back pocket for a driver that's already locked in to our playoffs. That's exactly what he's hoping for and looking for out there on the speedway, and it looks like he's in line to get it here this evening as Merriman rolls there in 2nd. Jonathan Gaston up and into 3rd here is there. 3, 4 wide back behind him. Look out as here comes obviously the 17 rider Tyler Honeycutt with the 6 of Underwood right there with him. But Honeycutt, his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and he's looking for a top 5 run here in stage number 1. But man, he's gonna have his hands full. Josh Crider looking down to his inside. They almost make contact there for the tri-oval. He's got the 3, Jonathan Elardo there rolling to his outside. They'll be tight together down and out of corner number 2. They'll drag race back to the start finish line as you see Gaston trying to hold off that 6 of Underwood. Underwood right down to his inside. They beat and bang a little bit. Is out in front and winning. Our first stage of the day is the 14 of Jack Fletcher. Fletcher picks up the checkered flag here this evening for our first stage of the evening. Sean Merriman will come home in 2nd. Brian Underwood in 3rd. Jonathan Gaston and newcomer Tyler Honeycutt are top 5 here in stage number 1. Josh Crider, Jordan Hand, TJ Allen, Jonathan Elardo, and Jordan Hand rounding out our top 10. And Anna, it says, rest in peace, Jaden on it here. A beautiful Spider-Man paint scheme here and it says rest in peace Jaden on board here with the number 10 ride this afternoon. As beautiful in memorial paint scheme here by Jordan Hand this afternoon. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to Jaden and his family, as beautiful, beautiful ride. And obviously for Hand, he's got a heavy heart and a heavy throttle, and we'll see if he can try to work himself and this paint scheme up and into victory lane here this evening. As the 14 of Jack Fletcher, though, picking up the first stage win, obviously getting some good stage points, but also getting that bonus point to try to use throughout these playoffs to try to work himself up in to the championship contention here this season, as each and every one of these drivers now going to have some decisions. What do you do? Do you come down pit road? What is the game plan here? How do you play this out? What is the strategy here? As already season 7, man. Season 7 is crazy. I mean, when did we get in here at the Premium Stock Car Racing League? Was it season 2? Midway through season 2? Maybe season 3? And we started broadcasting here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and now obviously, I mean, many seasons under our belt. Man, we've seen a lot of great drivers come and a lot of great drivers go, but nonetheless, it has been non-stop amazing racing action in it. And here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, continue to just bring that each and every single Saturday night. As you do see Fletcher down pit road. I'm not sure if Fletcher's just going to go fuel only here. No, it does look like he put some tires on. Okay, so interesting call here. So Fletcher is going to get some tires. I believe we're going to see everyone else get jacked up and get some fresh tires onto their race cars as well. That's exactly what we see, but we do see a much quicker pit stop here for the 31 ride of Jordan Hand, of Mr. Brandon Holder. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because I'm not sure if Holder gets tires here. It's his pit stall. Looks like he's going to get fuel only. No tires going on to the 31. Same with the 99 ride of Sean Wilder. He goes with no tires as well. Very quick pit stops there for those two cats. And they're going to get out in front of everyone else who decided to take tires. And that's going to put them into a pretty decent position. We saw one driver stay out as the number 1, the Monster Energy ride of Jeremy Jeffries, elects to not come down pit side here at the end of stage number 1. So, that's going to put him into a very interesting position. I'm not sure if he's going to have older tires here, or potentially no tires if he has not put a fresh set on yet this afternoon. He may be a bit of a sitting duck here on this restart. Same could go for Brandon Holder and Sean Wilder. Now, I didn't see them really pushing strong there throughout the end of that first stage, so I'm not sure if potentially they've put any tires on at all, but there's going to be a lot of fresh tires back here behind them, and these three at the front of the field may just be trying to hang on and obviously play a little bit of tire strategy game plan to help them out late in this race, to have that extra set in their back pocket that could potentially put them into a winning position late in this race. But for Jeremy Jeffries, the 31 of Brandon Holder, the 99 of Sean Wilder, they're ready for this restart. Our stage 1 winner, Jack Fletcher, they're in 4th. Sean Merriman in 5th. Brian Underwood, Jonathan Gaston, Josh Crider, Tyler Honeycutt, and TJ Allen round out our top 10 as we'll get them all sacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we'll see another caution flag here in stage number 2, or do you guys think we're going to run this stage clean and green? Do you guys see a caution flag on the horizon for these drivers, or will we keep it just absolute hard-nosed battling here throughout this stage and no yellow flags to be displayed? We're about to find out. As here we go, nice and easy, down and out of corner number 4, down in to our Geico restart zone. And for the 1 ride, fires a little early right there. Not too early. He's able to fire whenever he chooses, but goes earlier in that box. Kind of keeps the 31 of Brandon Holder a little flat-footed. Unfortunately for Brandon Holder and the 99 ride, they're not able to stick to the back bumper there of that number one ride in for Jeremy Jeffries. He's going to lead us down the back straightaway. Jack Fletcher virtually pushing that 31 right of Brandon Holder right back to his rear bumper. Now we'll start to see maybe some of these fractured tires just working their way right on around these guys. As here they come. Here comes Fletcher. Here comes the 18. Here comes that 6 of Underwood as they're looking to try to navigate their way through this traffic as quick as possible, but in the same breath, you gotta take it easy. You gotta mind your P's and Q's. We saw the tire fall off and how much fall off we were seeing there in that first run of the day. As Anna says, Peacemaker, you sound so much better. I appreciate that, Anna. We're definitely feeling much, much better. I woke up, had a bit of a cough still this morning, but as the day has kind of went on, it is kind of receded, and we're not really having too much of a coughing fits or anything else, and definitely feeling a whole lot more clear, whether it's nasal with phlegm or anything else, or even just our lungs are feeling a lot better, and definitely feeling much, much better than what we did last week, man. Last week we were dying. When we were up here in the booth last Saturday, man, it was a bit of a blur because we were absolutely going through it. Same with last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, man. We were feeling it, chat. We were feeling it. We were very, very sick there for about a week, but it seems like, knock on wood, that it is starting to take a back seat. We're starting to feel a whole lot better, and hopefully that continues on as Jeremy Jeffries hoping to continue on here at the front of the field. They still click off lap number 48 this afternoon, so 48 laps completed. Jeffries still out in front, leading the way as Jack Fletcher now trying to reel him in with Underwood right there in third. Sean Merriman has fallen back into fourth with Josh Crider, and now Holder back into that sixth position. TJ Allen in that beautiful Hulkamania ride up and into that seventh spot on the Speedway. Grant Wesley, Melvin Brangerer, and Jonathan Gaston rounding at our top 10, but Gaston's right in the thick of it here. Has that 17 of Tyler Honeycutt down to his inside, the 76 of Mr. Farrell Robbins there to his outside, and here comes Jordan Hand. Here comes the 99 of Sean Wilder. Unfortunately for Wilder here, his game plan with the older tires here and trying to play a little strategy there with fuel only during that stage one stop. Unfortunately, he has not been able to hold on position as well as Jeffries and Holder, and he's fallen all the way back here now into that 15th position as he just watched the 75 of Willie Smith work his way around him. And out in front, we see Brian Underwood able to work his way to the point. So he gets around Jack Fletcher and that one right of Jeremy Jeffries. Now we see Jeffries falling back here as he's now back into about that fifth position, trying to battle door to door here with the 31 of Brandon Holder. And here comes Grant Wesley, our pole sitter, that 51 of TJ Allen, the 9 of Melvin Brangerer. He's trying to work his way right back up there, and now you do see the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Our top 10, he's looking to try to work his way back up to the point here. He wants to lead some more laps and try to put himself into the winning position late in this race. But for right now, it is Underwood who has the top spot, who leads the way, and we see another caution flag. Anna, you got it right. She said another yellow, and there it is, a yellow flag here fairly early into stage number 2 here this evening. Oh, man. Okay, so this is going to make things very, very interesting. I feel we're going to see everyone come down pit road. I feel we're going to see everyone get fuel here, as we're going to see the newcomer here, the 55 ride of John Sheen. Looks like Sheen going to get up the racetrack and into potentially the 7 of Brookover right here. So it's a good run, shoots to the middle. The 7 trying to make the corner, and 55 maybe looking to go a little bit more higher there through corner number 1. Unfortunately, they make contact. It gets Brookover sideways, the 55 sideways. Here comes Elardo into the side of him. The 45 of Lee gets a piece of the 99 of Wilder, as Wilder's trying to get checked up as he sees that action starting to happen, and unfortunately he gets the worst end of it, I think, here, as him and the 55 right hard contact into the outside fence here. I think for Brookover, he's able to escape it with just maybe just a little extra tire wear, but Man, Sean Wilder and John Sheen both get a ton of damage, and they'll have to try to use their quick repair up here early this afternoon. As here we go. We do see everyone so far, top 15, looks like our top 20, all going to come down pit road here. No one is going to stay out as Wilder. He'll be looking for that, he's going to be looking for that quick repair here in a quick hurry. Jordan Crider, he's down there as well as Brad Neer, who will take the wave around here. So great break here for Brad Neer, as that wave around should get him back on the lead lap. So great break there for the 16 ride. So he'll be back in the action here this evening. For John Sheen, he's down pit side, but you do see that quick repair has been used. And for the 55, he'll get rolling back in on the racetrack. Now, unfortunately, I believe he will be scored a lap down here. Looks like he's lost a lap during that green yellow flag action. And I believe for the 7 rider broke over, he is also still 2 laps down, but he's in line for the wave around here, trying to get a lap back, trying to go to 1 lap down. If he can catch a quick caution flag, could get him right back into the action. And unfortunately for the Waffle House number 60 of Rem Wyatt, looks like Rem Wyatt, unfortunately, I'm not sure if he lost connection or something happened, but I believe he's been off the speedway since lap number 35 and has now rejoined the field here, rejoined the fun this afternoon. And for Rem Wyatt, looks like he's going to have an early exit here in his Premium Stock Car Racing League debut. It's Jack Fletcher, though, out in front. Will get ready for this restart. He will have that rubbered up. Productions, our Season 2 champion, Mr. Josh Crider, starting there in second. And then we see Sean Merriman, Brian Underwood, Brandon Holder, our top 5 here, ready for the restart, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Now, I believe with everyone making that pit stop there on lap number 53, they are all going to be good to go on fuel here until the end of stage number 2. So I think whatever you got here, whether it's tires, fuel, you know, you got to use it, you got to abuse it, you got to try to put yourself into a good position, whether that means, you know, stage points or trying to set yourself up nicely for the, the final stage of the day, whether it's by fuel or potentially tires or some sort of track position. We'll have to wait and see who's going to be our race leader here and who's going to win the second stage and who is going to find their way up and into victory lane. Alrighty, it's Jack Fletcher. Ready to rumble. Ready to get back at it here. Trying to get a big restart again. Looking to keep Josh Crider and Sean Merriman, the rest of the field, back there at bay, as he's going to be looking to trying to sweep these stages. Already won stage number 1. Can he pick up stage number 2 win as well in that Home Depot number 14 ride, as pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn back down pit road, and here we go. Back to battle here this evening is into the Geico restart zone. Looks like he's going to fire a little early in the box. That'll give him a good launch, or at least good enough that he's able to slide up, clear that 5 right of Josh Crider, and get a good solid run down into corner number 1 with no one tight to his back bumper or to his outside. And now for Jack Fletcher, he'll be looking to try to keep all these drivers back there behind him as Crider's trying to reel him in. Crider trying to work his way to the point here. He definitely wants to get some stage points and trying to put himself into a good spot here for, getting closer and closer to the end of our regular season. For a lot of these drivers, obviously, there's still a lot of races left to go, but there's really not a ton left to go here before our playoffs get started, as these drivers have only, I believe, 4 races left before our playoffs get started. So 4 more races, and then we get into the racing action. And if you want to try to lock yourself in or give yourself an opportunity to potentially be a part of those playoffs, you need a good run here at Kentucky. You need a good run at Pocono, New Hampshire Auto Club, Talladega. You pretty much got to chalk up. You do not want to go into Talladega being on that cut line or around that cut line and not being locked into the playoffs, because you just never know what will happen there at Talladega Super Speedway. Whether or not you get tied up in a big wreck or something else happens early on that puts you into a disadvantage, as we just saw a huge disadvantage is the 6th ride. Oh no, they kind of all get tangled up here, and luckily enough, we see the stay clean and green. But for Brian Underwood, and I believe the newcomer, the 51 ride of TJ Allen right here, you're going to see them make contact. Allen gets into the 6 of Underwood. Underwood sideways there on the racetrack. 51 goes down to the apron. The 17 right has to get checked up there. It seems to be the run through the back bumper of the 51 machine. Unfortunately, that's going to slide Underwood, TJ Allen, and Honeycutt deep into the field. And at the same time, we see Josh Crider fall back here as well. Josh Crider now finds himself all the way back in the 15th position out there on the speedway. But man, for a lot of these drivers, man, there's still a lot of open spots here in these playoffs, as I believe we have two-time winners here. Jack Fletcher's won 2 races. Brandon Holler's won 2 races. Jonathan Gaston, Wesley Burke, and Brian Underwood are the other 3 winners here on the season. So only 5 drivers have won races. 5 drivers have locked their way into our playoffs. Now, it starts with, Sean Merriman, Josh Crider, Danny White. They kind of got a pretty decent point lead here between themselves and some of the other drivers kind of around that cut line, as it gets a whole lot tighter when you look back, even at, our 11th, 12th place driver with Sean Wilder, Brangor, Ryan Campbell, who's unfortunately not here again this afternoon, but that brings, Jordan Crider, Brookover, a bunch of these drivers real tight to those final few playoff spots here this afternoon. And with the playoffs quickly coming to a close, man, the top 12 in points being able to advance into the playoffs makes things very, very fun, very interesting. And with 5 drivers already locked in, technically with this being our 5th to last race of the regular season, potentially only 5 more other drivers could get locked in here to the playoffs. And now obviously everyone else is trying to look for those points, trying to make sure they get enough that they can work their way into the show. I mean, when you look at Elardo, Grant Wesley, Danny White, Josh Crider, these guys are just looking for good runs, man. Good, solid runs, good performances. When you look at Wilder, Brangruer, obviously they're right on that cut line. They need to have big runs here, trying to make sure they keep Brookover and Scott Lee, Jeffries, Robbins, Wolf, all these guys back there at bay. We actually have a lot of these guys that aren't even here this afternoon that are up and through kind of our, top 20 out there on the racetrack. No Ryan Campbell out there. No Mark Rotingen out there. No Robert Wolf out on the racetrack. Derek Gates isn't out there again this afternoon. No Dylan Calkins. No Dustin Sleitler. Man, we're missing quite a few good drivers out there on the speedway. No Daniel Selway. I don't think Chris Getz is here this afternoon. Corey Buskirk isn't out there as well. So there's a lot of drivers that aren't out there on the speedway that they could definitely need those points. And if they want to have a chance at this championship or trying to go for that championship, unfortunately, their time is running short. Missing this race will put them probably that much farther back where it may be a little too far out of their reach, or at least they may have to try to find a dub to be able to lock themselves in. And I mean, Talladega, it's produced a lot of, one-time winners and a lot of crazy finishes here. And one of those drivers that could be maybe outside the top 12 in the point standings could find their way up in victory lane and steal one of those final playoff spots here and eliminating one of the top 12 going into that final race of the regular season here. So it's definitely going to be possible, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun to see. So if you're one of these drivers, man, you want to get locked in now. You want to make sure that you get the points. You want to make sure you get the runs, that you can work yourself into these playoffs right out of the get-goes. You do see Sean Merriman. He's there in second. He wants a dub. He wants to get locked in, but Jack Fletcher, who's already got 2 wins on this regular season, already gotten a stage win here this evening as well. He's looking for another stage win, another bonus point for those playoffs, and maybe even trying to pick up another dub here as well for his third win on the season. Trying to keep some of these other drivers back there at base. We do see Jordan Hand up and into third. Brenger is now into fourth here, looking for a good run, a solid run, and hoping for some good luck here this evening as Grant Wesley, our top five. Willie Smith, good to see Willie out there on the racetrack. This is his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and for Willie Smith, he's up into that sixth position as the sixth rider, Brian Underwood, right there behind him, Brandon Holder, Danny White, Josh Crider rounding out our top 10. So for Josh Crider, he's trying to battle his way back up through the field here. Obviously trying to play a little bit of strategy there, trying to maybe fall back a little earlier, trying to save a little tire, now trying to race his way back up through the field here and hoping to just get a good solid run this afternoon as Anna says, come on, Jordan! Cheering on Mr. Jordan Hand here this evening, and Jordan Hand right now running in that third position. Trying to work this 10 right towards the front as we do see Sean Merriman work his way in front of Jack Fletcher. Fletcher's looking to battle back, though, into the back bumper of the Metallica Dr. Pepper Cherry number 18 ride. And there you see Jordan Hand trying to reel them both in. Brenger is there. Here comes Willie Smith, Wesley, and Underwood all right there ready to pounce as our top 7 have kind of broken away here from the rest of the field. It's about a 2.1 second gap back here to our 8th place drivers. You see the 17 of Tyler Honeycutt working his way around Danny White for that 8th position on the racetrack. John Wilder's right there. Josh Crider's there as well, just on the outside of some stage points looking in. TJ Allen, Nicholas Torres, Brandon Holder's there in 14th with Jeremy Jeffries, Farrell Robbins, Brad Neer. The 45 of Scott Lee there in position number 18 with Jonathan Gaston all the way back here in 19th. Abram Ghostin rounding out our top 20. Jordan Crider, Jonathan Elardo, John Sheen, unfortunately, he finds himself a lap down out on the racetrack. Now, he is the first driver, 1 lap down, and at the stage break, if he's still the first car lap down, in line for potentially the lucky dog here and getting back on the lead lap for this final stage of the day for John Sheen. Brookover also a lap down now. Brookover, he was last down pit road on lap number 41. He did not pit on lap 53 like everybody else, and I think for this 7 ride, fuel is going to be really, really tight here for Brookover, and unfortunately, without another caution flag here late in this stage, he may be forced to come back down pit road and make a green flag pit stop before the end of this stage, and that would also put him from 1 lap down probably back to 2, maybe even 3 laps down out there on the speedway. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out for Nathan Brookover after running into those opening lap issues and just still trying to rebound from that here this evening. And Rem Wyatt still down and out of this race, not back out onto the racetrack here today. But out in front, Sean Merriman's got the top spot, but here comes Jordan Hand. Jordan looking for the stage win here. Can he work that beautiful Spider-Man Memorial race car here up and into victory lane as he's got Jaden riding on board with him. Says rest in peace, Jaden. Show the love here this evening as the 10 ride, hoping to try to put himself up and in to the stage 2 dub here this evening as he rolls to the outside of Merriman. Nice and easy down through 3 and out of quarter number 4. Looking to carry all that speed and momentum, and for Jordan Hand, he will take the top spot away from Sean Merriman with only 6 laps left to go here in our second stage of the day. So for Jordan Hand, he's out in front. He's hoping for the stage win. Can he hold Sean Merriman off? Can he keep him back there at bay? Will we see potentially Melvin Brenger or Grant Wesley or the rest of our top 5, including that 6th rider, Brian Underwood, is Underwood up and into that 5th position. Now looking for position number 4, trying to work his way around that 88 of Grant Wesley. There you do see Jack Fletcher, who's fallen back into 6th. He's trying to hold off that 75 of Willie Smith. Willie trying to work his way to the outside of that 14 ride for the 6th position. Tyler Honeycutt trying to track them down as the Fastenal 17 ride rolls there in that 8th position. Then we see Sean Wilder and the number 51 at TJ Allen rounding up the top 10. Danny White's back in 11th. With Nicholas Torres, Josh Crider, Jonathan Gaston, Scott Lee, our top 15 out there on the speedway. But out in front, clicking off another lap, it's Jordan Hand, who will see only 4 laps left to go here in stage number 2. And unfortunately for the driver that was 1 lap down, Nathan Brookover, he's had to make that additional pit stop here. He gets rolling back out on the racetrack. As of right now, I believe he is 2 laps down out on the speedway, but he's got to be careful as he's trying to build that speed momentum. Our race leaders are down across the start-finish line, so he is about half a lap away from losing another lap here and going 3 laps down out there on the racetrack. That would be dang near impossible to come back from without a abundance of caution flags throughout this race. So he'll be hoping to stay right here, hoping for maybe another wave around at the end of this stage when everyone makes their pit stop. Maybe he'll use it to his advantage to at least get 1 lap back again, hope for another quick early caution flag in our final stage of the day, and try to get himself back on the lead lap, back into the action here this evening. But for Jordan Hand, Hand's out in front, only a couple laps left to go here for that number 10 ride, as Merriman sticking right there with him, still trying to stay right in his back pocket, hoping that if there's a mistake out of that 10 ride, he can jump up and try to steal this stage win away from him, as we do see Brian Underwood up and into 3rd. Branger's there in 4th. Jack Fletcher's back up inside our top 5 with Willie Smith. Tyler Honeycutt now up into 7th here. Honeycutt's been finding a lot of speed out of the 17 ride throughout this run, and here he is late in the stage and trying to race his way up towards the top 5 out there on the speedway, trying to complete this pass on Grant Wesley for position number 7, and it looks like he is going to be able to make that pass, and now we'll go to work here on the other drivers just in front of him. It's Jordan Hand, though, down through corner 3 and out of corner number 4, back down across the line. It's the 10 of Jordan Hand who will pick up our 2nd stage win of the evening. John Merriman will come home in 2nd with Brian Underwood. Melvin Brengerer, Willie Smith, our top 5 out there on the speedway for stage number 2. Then we see Jack Fletcher, Tyler Honeycutt, Grant Wesley, TJ Allen, and Sean Wilder rounding out the top 10 here in stage number 2. As each and every one of these drivers, now it's decision time. What do you do? I think we're seeing everyone come down pit road. Everyone's getting fuel. And I think for the most part, everyone is taking a set of tires here. Unless if we see a couple drivers maybe go for a bit of a gamble, play this out a little differently, maybe try to make a little bit of an earlier pit stop, so maybe having the older tires for, 10, 15, 20 laps, maybe it works into your favor, trying to save that extra set for late in this race. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to be playing a different strategy, a different game plan here late in this one, as they'll all get their chance to head down pit side. And for each and every one of these drivers, they'll be looking to try to come out with the advantage, with that extra edge over their teammates, and trying to put themselves into the winning position during our 2nd stage of the day. Now, I do believe our lucky dog will go to the Coca-Cola Napa Auto Parts number 55 of John Sheen. Sheen will get the free pass back on to the lead lap here for the 55 ride. Now, unfortunately for Brookover, not in line for the lucky dog, but if everyone pits, he could be in line again for the wave around and going from 2 laps down to 1 lap down here at the start of this final stage of the evening. As here we go, Jordan Hand and everybody coming down pit side. Doesn't look like anyone is going to stay out here, so that is a great break there for Nathan Brookover, as that should give him the wave that will give the 55 the lucky dog as they try to get themselves back into the battle. And unfortunately for Rem Wyatt in the Waffle House number 60 ride, did not get back out onto the racetrack as of yet. Only ran 35.78 laps here this evening, so not even quite 39 laps of racing action, or 36 laps of racing action there for the 60 ride, as everyone's down pit road, and it looks like Jordan Hand's going to lead us off pit road. So Hand, Merriman Underwood, our top 3 exiting pit side. Bren Brewer, Jack Fletcher, our top 5 with Grant Wesley, Willie Smith, Tyler Honeycutt, TJ Allen, and Sean Wilder rounding out our top 10. Not a whole lot has changed there throughout that green flag or yellow flag pit stop, but we'll see if anyone's able to get a little something extra here to try to help them out, to try to put them into a good position late in this race. We'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go to battle here, ready to duke it out in just a couple more moments. And for all these drivers, they're hoping to put themselves into victory lane. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. Hit the like button on the broadcast for us. Just hit that thumbs up button right now on the broadcast. And make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we get ready to get back to play. Jordan Hand, Sean Merriman, 1 and 2 on the speedway. They'll be looking for that green flag here next time by the start-finish line. And it looks like we'll be going back to green flag racing, completing lap number 84 on the day. So 84 laps will be complete. We will have 83 laps of racing action left to go, but no more stage breaks here. We could see things get spread out, strung out, potentially a lot of green flag laps being laid down for these drivers. That could mean the potential of some green flag pit stops again. And if that is the case, you cannot make a mistake. You cannot run into an issue. Put yourself behind the 8 ball too much here throughout this second or our final stage of the day, because you may not have enough time, enough caution flags to rebound from a pit road speeding penalty. So we'll have to wait and see if that is the case. And if we do see green flag pit stops, who will be the violators of the pit road speeding penalty again here this evening? As here we go down and through corner number 3 and nice and easy back out of corner number 4 for the number 10 of Jordan Hand. He will be the control car, so he'll get the fire whenever he chooses down through that Geico restart zone. Oh, we do see one driver off schedule pit stop right here. TJ Allen's headed down pit road as we go back to green flag racing. This is really going to set him back. We're up in building speed here. He's down pit side. Unfortunately, making a very off-schedule pit stop here. I'm not sure how this is going to help the Hulkamania ride. We'll see if he gets that Great Lakes Sim ride back out onto the racetrack as he hits his stall. Doesn't look like the crew is really going to work or putting any work into this race car, but maybe getting some fuel, maybe getting some damage repaired. Nonetheless, here he comes back out onto the speedway, and I believe making that stop. That may be very close to putting him a lap down. He may be able to stay on the lead lap. It'll be really, really tight here as he's trying to build up that speed momentum down and through corner number 1 and 2. He'll exit corner number 2, and right there behind him, you see him at the top of the screen. That's our race leaders, not too far away from his back bumper. So for Jordan Hand, Merriman, all these cats, they'll be looking to try to chase it down that number 51 here this evening. That's a big mistake there. I don't know if he just didn't get fuel in it during the green or the yellow flag pit stop, or maybe he just had some issues, had to get some extra repairs done there, but obviously coming back to a green flag, that's definitely not the best time to hit pit road. Oh, that's not a good time to hit the outside fence, and oh, look out, there goes Gaston. Caution flag is back in on the speedway. Oh, man, huge hit here for Sean Wilder, huge hit. I do believe for Nicholas Torres and Jonathan Gaston as well, as you're going to see the 99 ride try to get this car rolling. He was hoping to try to drive it down pit road. Looks like he's going to have to tow it right down pit side and let the crew go to work. But let's take a look here as the 99 ride exiting corner number 2. I don't know if he gets a little help in hand here or what may happen, but for that beautiful high-velocity racing 99 ride, down and through corner 1 and then into corner number 2. You see the 64 kind of push up the racetrack right there of Danny White, and there it is. So Danny White slides up the racetrack here, just kind of loses the bottom groove, washes up into the 99, and when he does, it just gets him loose. He slams hard up into the outside fence, right down the racetrack, and man, there was actually a couple drivers that had a lot of damage right here. I believe the one of Jeremy Jeffrey is going to get quite a bit of damage here, as well as Nicholas Torres. So Torres sees it happening, and all of a sudden, boom, car right in front of him, nowhere for him to go. Clips that 99 ride right there, and then we're going to see Jonathan Gaston. Oh, man, huge hit here for Gaston. Let's play this back, see what he can kind of see from the cockpit, because I don't think Gaston really saw this one happening or knew where this car kind of was. He sees one car kind of go to the fence right there, and then all of a sudden, goes back down the racetrack there after the contact with the fence and that contact with the 20 ride, and oh man, just exiting corner number 2, and all of a sudden there's a car parked right in front of you. Tries to get down low and out of the way. Unfortunately, could not avoid him. Could not get under the binders too much there either, because he ended up having that one ride of Jeremy Jeffries kind of right on his back bumper, and Jeffries got even worse of a look at it here. Kind of sees one car into the fence there, and all of a sudden, oh man, that is just nothing he could do. Nowhere for him to go right there, and that's a big hit for Jeffries. Big hit for the 72, the 20 ride, obviously for the 99. Heavy damage there as well, and all those guys will be headed down pit road trying to get some repairs, trying to get their cars back out on the racetrack. Unfortunately here for Sean Wilder, this has put him down pit road for an extended period of time, getting towed down pit side here, and if he didn't have that quick repair clicked on, or if he's already used it up throughout this race, the 99 ride could be done for the day. Same with and we do see Brookover down pit side. He says thank you very much for that yellow flag, as I believe for Brookover, that gives him the lucky dog back on the lead lap there for the 7 ride. So great break there for Brookover. Now for Nicholas Torres, if he's not careful, he may lose a lap. Our race leader is about to roll around him, and if he's still down pit road, in which case he still has a lot of damage, and the damage logo here for that 20 ride, it looks like for Torres and Wilder, they're going to be down pit side for an extended period of time. Now for Torres, he just fell one lap down, but you see that right front absolutely tore apart here for the Target Mart number 20 ride, and unfortunately, the crew is not getting that done very quickly, so I think for Torres, he may be down there for a while. Same with Sean Wilder there. Chances and opportunities to try to win this race, maybe kind of thrown out the book right there, thrown out the window, and you do see Gaston, Jeffries, they're both back down pit road. They're ready to rejoin this race. Obviously, now going to have to try to play a little catch-up, and after having to use their quick repairs up, they're going to be in a tough spot trying to navigate back through some of this lap traffic out there on the speedway. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Sean Merriman is our race leader here. He is the control car for this restart, and he's elected to use the outside lane. So we'll have to wait and see if that outside groove works to his advantage here this evening. As of right now, not quite as, I don't know if this is going to be as drawn up as I think he's hoping for, but we'll wait and see, because I don't know, man. This 18 ride he's shown a lot of good speed. He has shown a lot of great speed out there on the racetrack, but for a lot of it just has not really worked out into his favor throughout the year. But we'll see if this one can potentially get it done for him here this afternoon, as right now, each and every one of these drivers, man, big restart, big launches here, and for the 18 ride, he's able to keep himself out in front, holding off that 6 of Underwood, is our back-to-back champion for season 4 and 5, trying to work to his back bumper, especially after just seeing our season 6 champion Gaston running into those issues. And for Jonathan Gaston, this setting him back that much more. This could put him potentially out another $15 on the day. So for Gaston, he put up money, knowing that he feels pretty confident, pretty good here at the 3 tracks coming up, and hoping that the bounty that he put on those races was going to put potentially him into victory lane and keeping his money, but obviously trying to get more and more of these drivers kind of locked in and loaded in and into the action here, trying to keep those car counts up. And we appreciate what Gaston and the Gastons Graphics team does here, not only for the league, but for all these drivers as well, man. Putting on that extra little bit of money to try to bring in some more of these drivers and continue to build the fans in the stands here this afternoon as well. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, look out! I think that's Brad Neer running into another issue. Grant Wesley, our pole sitter, also tied up in it. And the 31 of Brandon Holder also tied up in this one as, man, Brad Neer got tied up in that first wreck of the day. He was a lap or two down. He had battled his way back on the lead lap here. Same with Brookover. Luckily enough, Brookover does avoid this one, but not as lucky as I believe it's going to be between Holder and Grant Wesley here. See if we get another angle at another look at it, as they're going to be just in front of that 16 ride. I believe you're going to see the 31 ride get a decent run on corner exit. The 88 ride kind of pushes up the racetrack right here. So we see him roll in the bottom. He loses the bottom groove, washes up the racetrack, and I think as he does, he's trying to not run in or get into anyone in the outside groove. So he kind of rolls into the throttle there to kind of collect the 88 ride. Unfortunately for Holder, he does not realize that quick enough. Gets into that left rear quarter panel of the number 88, and then that's when you see, obviously, he's sideways checked up. The 16 ride gets into his back bumper, and then they all wash down into the infield fence here. Big hits there for Grant Wesley. Big hit for Holder and for that number 16 ride of Brad Neer, and that's going to put them probably down pit road, using up quick repairs and trying to get themselves back into the action here this evening. So we see Brad Neer. He's headed down pit road now. Actually, didn't look like Wesley got too tore up there during that wreck, so the 88 ride doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape. Obviously, some pretty solid damage here on last week's feature winner, Brandon Holder. So we'll see if he's got a quick repair in his back pocket, or maybe he'll elect to just kind of use just a little bit of the cruise work here, as we did see a few more drivers head down pit road. Jonathan Elardo, obviously Wesley, Gastons down pit side, John Sheen, Willie Smith, looks like Jeremy Jeffries, Holder, Neer, Nicholas Torres still down pit side. Looks like Sean Wilder has taken his car out of this race. So for Wilder, tough day at the office there for the 99 riders. It looks like his day is done. His chicken is fried, and unfortunately, he's down behind pit wall and out of this race for Nicholas Torres. The car's kind of gotten a little bit more fixed up here, but looks like he's going to stay down pit road. The crew is still trying to go to work, still trying to get this thing back into racing condition, and unfortunately, looks like he's going to lose even more laps. He's already 6 laps down. Going to be very hard to make that up and get back into the action. But as these caution flags continue to fly, he's not losing as many laps as I think he was probably going to lose. And I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. Maybe we do see these yellows continuing to produce more yellows and having these drivers stacked up on one another with, you know, the laps counting down in a quick hurry could potentially, you know, bring him back to life, bring him back into the action. We'll see if he joins the fun here and gets back out onto the racetrack. But we do get him stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Now this time, Sean Merriman is still our control car. He was still out in front in the Metallica Dr. Pepper Cherry ride, and this time, instead of choosing the outside lane, he chooses the inside groove here for this restart. So for Sean Merriman, trying to try a couple different restart zones, a couple different areas on the racetrack out in front, and obviously going down to the inside now, he'll get a good true test here on what a late race restart may look like. If he's leading the way, we see a late race restart. That lane choice, that lane selection may be your make or break moment out there on the racetrack, just choosing the right lane for the race leader. So Merriman's trying to, you know, cross his T's and dot his I's, make sure he knows exactly what to do potentially late in this race to try to capture tonight's victory. As Merriman, Underwood, Brengerer, our top 3. Newcomer here, Tyler Honeycutt up into position number 4. And then we do see Jack Fletcher, Abram Ghosted at the 22. Josh Crider, Danny White, Jordan Hayden, and Scott Lee rounding out our top 10. Ready to see that green flag fly here once again this evening, as down through corner number 4 and down into that Geico restart zone. 18 rider Sean Merriman looking for a good restart, and there it is! Got a really good launch, quickly clears the 6 of Brian Underwood, and it's going to bring Melvin Brenger right along with him here. And I think that's exactly how he had that one drawn up. Is not only does it keep a driver off his back bumper down through 1 and 2, but maybe gives him a good enough run to try to pull away from these guys down the back straightaway. But Brenger is going to try to stick right there with them and quickly takes a look down to the inside as here comes Jack Fletcher as well. Our stage 1 winner. Fletcher is not scared to throw it in there. 2 wide, 3 wide, and looking to try to race his way back to the point here. But so isn't Brian Underwood as he's right there in the thick of it. Here comes Josh Crider. He's trying to battle his way back up to the front here with that beautiful Rubber Up Productions number 5 ride. Rolling in that 6th position here. He's got Jordan Hand, our stage 2 winner, there on his back bumper. Tyler Honeycutt, Abram Ghostin, Brookover, who was a couple laps down here not too long ago for that Fireball number 7 ride. He's up inside the top 10, so great rebound of a race here for Nathan Brookover. Never giving it up, sticking with it, and now back on a lead lap and battling his way inside the top 10, man. That is an absolute incredible run there for Nathan Brookover. But out in front, Brian Underwood consumes the race lead, and Underwood hoping to try to pull away from the rest of the field and hoping to try to keep these guys back there in his dust for the final laps of this race as we're inching closer and closer to our checkered flag. As and it'd be nice to see a good green flag run right here. It'd be nice to see potentially some green flag pit stops here in stage number 3, our final stage of the evening. If we do see those green flag pit stops, that could be the make or break part of this race, as we did see about 3 or 4 black flag penalties being laid down for pit roads penalties here this afternoon already in that first pit stop of the day back in stage number 1, when we saw them have to make those green flag stops. 4 drivers got nabbed as Donnie coming in, showing the love. Donnie Honeycutt says, let's go, Tyler Honeycutt, cheered on. TH, man, Tyler, first run here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and for the Fast and All number 17 ride, he's put together a really strong run. Really great race here this evening as 100 laps have been completed. This time by, it'll be 101 laps down, and Honeycutt, he rolls in that 4th position. In position number 4 and looking for more as he's got Josh Crider and Jordan Hand right there on his back bumper. Then they're 3 wide back there for position number 7. Danny White trying to take that 7th spot away, trying to keep that number 3 of Elardo and the 7 of Brookover back there at bay, but they're not going anywhere, and now they're going to be maybe 3, maybe even 4 wide as Abram Ghostin trying to hold on to the 22 ride. Man, still some great racing. 2 wide, 3 wide action here out on the speedway, man. These guys putting together a great show for us as Underwood out in front trying to run away with it. Jack Fletcher and Melvin Brenger are trying to track him down as Honeycutt in position number 4 and continue to look for more here this evening as nice and easy down the back straightaway, down and into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. They'll click off lap 103 here this evening, so 103 laps down, 64 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. So 64 laps left to duke it out here in this one as the Premium Stock Car Racing League live here from Kentucky Speedway, putting together a great show, great race for all the fans in the stands here this evening. If you guys are enjoying the racing action and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, hit the thumbs up here on the broadcast, the like button on the stream right now. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well, become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we're going to bring you guys non-stop racing action, but a quick Peacemaker Gaming, crank it up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers here this evening as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, a great crank it up session here this evening as green flag pit stops are upon us. We did see Underwood, Honeycutt, Josh Crider all down pit road. Now we do see Elardo's down pit side and a few more drivers making their way down pit road. There was Jack Fletcher able to get his stuff done. Here comes Danny White back out onto the speedway. This time by we do see the number 31 of Brandon Holder will make his way down pit road, but Jordan Hand staying out front here, gonna lead some more laps. And for the 10 right, obviously looking to make it a little bit later of a pit stop here throughout this run. And I think for Jordan Hand, he's coming down pit road this time, so he was able to go for a few laps longer than a lot of these other drivers. TJ Allen, though, going to come down pit side here with him as the 51 right had worked his way up towards the front of the field here, and everyone coming down pit road now except for newcomers here. Willie Smith, John Sheen, they're yet to come down pit road to make this pit stop. Same with Nathan Brookover, who's out there in that third position. They're yet to head down pit side here, yet to make what could be potentially their final pit stop of the day, but I think this is still too early for all these drivers. Here we go. We do see Brookover. We see Brookover comes down pit road, but Willie Smith and John Sheen, they're going to stay out. So they stay out. They're still in a good spot here. So as they keep on rolling, obviously this is going to help them out in the long run here. But on the short term, they're going to be back behind a lot of drivers trying to play catch up as they're giving up a lot of time to the fresh tires right now out on the speedway. Dang near a second a lap. So we'll have to wait and see. But out in front, Ryan Underwood, he could potentially be the race leader once things kind of cycle back through. Jack Fletcher in position number 2. Then it would be Josh Crider, Tyler Honeycutt, John Merriman, our top 5 here once things kind of cycle all the way around. But we do see John Sheen and Willie Smith. They're staying out even longer here. And they were down pit road back on lap number 94. So I think for these two, I think the strategy call, you know, if they can only run about 35 laps or so on fuel, if they can push this and maybe save a little bit, you know, they're down pit road probably somewhere around lap 130, maybe lap 131. If they can stretch that fuel out a couple extra laps, it could potentially put them down pit road for only one more green flag pit stop here this evening. This could be their final stops coming up. I think for everyone else, when you look back at Jack Fletcher, Brian Underwood, you know, even Josh Crider, Honeycutt, all these drivers, even when you look back at Jordan Hand, who pitted back on lap 120, let's say even if you did pit at lap 120, you got to run 47 laps under this tank of fuel, and I don't think any of these guys have that, or even being able to save a little bit. I don't think they have that much in the tank to be able to go that far here, so I think everyone else is going to have to make at least one more green flag pit stop. But for the likings of Willie Smith and John Sheen, they're out in front here. They continue to lead the way, but it looks like Sheen's going to come down pit road. So isn't Willie Smith. So looks like they couldn't really make it too much farther there. And now they were down pit side on lap number 94. Now pitting here on lap 125. I mean, they really only ran about 30 laps there to that tank of fuel. So if that's kind of the amount right there, 30 laps, then yeah, we are going to still see everyone back down pit road at least once more here this evening. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. If 30 laps is kind of the median here for all these drivers, with Jack Fletcher out in front leading the charge here. Honeycutt's there in what will be second as they go down and through the front straightaway. They'll leapfrog both John Sheen and Willie Smith. So Fletcher leads the way. Honeycutt's up and into second now, with Josh Crider there in third. Jonathan Elardo's in fourth. Jordan Hand running out our top five here on the Speedway. Now for Jordan Hand, out of our top five, he does have the best tires here. So for Jordan Hand, could be sitting in a really, really good position later in this run. Now we did see Sean Merriman, TJ Allen. He also has some pretty good tires here compared to some of the drivers just in front of him. Unfortunately for Underwood, he was doing pretty good, but now looks like he's kind of fallen back here a little bit throughout that pit cycle. And obviously since getting back out onto the Speedway, the sixth ride has been kind of on the backslide out there on the Speedway. Jeremy Jeffries now working his back bumper, with Brandon Holder rounding out our top 10. Grant Wesley's there in 11th, with Danny White, Scott Lee, Abram Ghostin, and the 76 of Farrell Robbins rounding out the top 15 there on the Speedway. Nathan Brookover back in 16th, with Jordan Crider in 17th. Willie Smith, who we just saw down pit road back on lap 125. Now he does have the best tires out of anyone else on the racetrack between him and John Sheen. They were the last two to make that green flag pit stop, and now they roll back in the 18th and 19th position. Gonna make up a lot of ground here to try to track down our race leaders and try to put themselves into a good spot late in this race. And then we do see Gaston, unfortunately, back here in the 20th position. We've seen the issues that Gaston's ran into throughout this race, so maybe trying to play a little different strategy here, trying to play something out that can work into his favor. He's got Brangro right there with them. Both drivers trying to rebound, trying to get something and salvage the day here, and looking for maybe some extra points here late in this race with a little extra strategy here this evening. As Brad Neer still down pit side, not out on the racetrack, unfortunately for Nicholas Torres, Sean Wilder, and Ram Wyatt. Looks like their nights have come to an end. I believe for Brad Neer, his chances of winning this race are out the window, but we'll see if he gets back out on the Speedway. But for right now, looks like his day at the racetrack may be over as well. So we started with 25 drivers. We got 21 still rolling out there on the Speedway, and I believe all 21 are on the lead lap, still very much in contention here this evening. A late race caution flag could really flip things onto its head and really make things that much more wild, especially if drivers are running low on fresh tires. And if there is a driver or two maybe has an extra set back there behind pit wall, maybe you can take that gamble of getting a set here and coming back down pit side and putting yourself into a position late in this race to maybe move forward and steal a win, or banking maybe on another caution flag even later to take that final set as well. There may be a few drivers that may elect to go that route out there on the speedway. But for Jack Fletcher, Tyler Honeycutt, they sit 1 and 2. And for Honeycutt, man, first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and what a performance he has had, not only navigating his way through some of the traffic and racing his way up towards that top 10, then into the top 5 here for Honeycutt. He's led some laps, he's made some really good passes here at the front of the field, and for that Fastenal number 17 ride. Strolling here in position number 2 late in this race. He's in line that he could potentially try to pick up the dub here this evening. Seems like he's got a really good, solid late race run here out of that 17 ride as he reels in the 14 ride of Jack Fletcher. But right there behind them, tracking them both down with a little bit better tire, is that number 10 of Jordan Hand. And Hand's looking to try to work his way back into the point here late in this race. TJ Allen, little fresher tires than Josh Crider and Jonathan Elardo. Now he's gotten around Elardo. He's struggling a little bit here, trying to complete the pass on our Season 2 champion, Josh Crider, as he's looking to try to keep himself in that 4th position. But for the 51, another one of our newcomers here to the series, trying to work that Great Lakes Sim Hulkamania number 51 ride up and into position number 4 here. Unfortunately, kind of getting pinned down low. Could not make a move, and now there's a big shot, a big push to the back bumper of Josh Crider. That got Crider very, very sideways. Luckily enough, able to hang on to, but you did see Elardo have to roll out the throttle, and it brings this 51 of TJ Allen right back into the mix as he shoots to the outside here with Josh Crider, hoping to see if he can use that outside momentum to try to put himself up and into position number 4 here once again on the speedway, as him and Crider will battle there for that 4th spot, and it looks like he'll finally take it as we do see Jordan Hand work his way up and into 2nd. Honeycutt out in front as Jack Fletcher falls back into 3rd here. TJ Allen now in 4th. Able to clear that 5 right down the back straightaway. Crider now sits in that 5th position and will look to try to hold off Jonathan Elardo and Sean Merriman here throughout this run. And for each and every one of these drivers, I mean, we're clicking the laps off in a quick hurry, and we're inching closer and closer to what could be their final green flag pit stop of this evening. And we could see some drivers trying to play it a little differently here, trying to play this stage a little differently in this run a whole lot more differently, especially when it comes to tires, but also fuel. Here in this one, we could see some drivers try to stretch it, try to take it a little bit longer, a little bit farther, like what we saw out of Willie Smith and John Sheen, as they have been making some passes. They've been working their way back up towards that top 15, as Willie Smith now in that 15th position. Still has a ton of ground to make up, but they have gained about 3 seconds or better over our race leaders here since they got back out onto the racetrack, because we do see Jordan Hand take over the top spot. He works his way around Tyler Honeycutt. Honeycutt falls back into 2nd now, and now they'll try to play catch up here. Him and Fletcher right on the back bumper here at Jordan Hand, trying to stick with him, knowing that this late race pit stop could be the make or break here to their day, as you see TJ Allen trying to race his way up here as well, trying to work his way into the battle at the front of the pack here, and trying to pick up his first podium race in his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. So in our top 5, we have one past champion. We have one 2-time winner here on the season with Jack Fletcher. We have Jordan Hand, who's been to multiple Premium Stock Car Racing League Championship for performances. Unfortunately, none have went his way, but here he is leading the way. And then 2 drivers making their Premium Stock Car Racing League starts out there as well with TJ Allen and Tyler Honeycutt. Now here comes Honeycutt. He's going to pit here on lap number 39, and this is the strategy we kind of talked about here. Drivers from this point on, they're good on fuel. If they can make it 30 laps on fuel, pitting here on lap 139 for Tyler Honeycutt means that he's only got a 28 8-lap run here to the checkered flag. Now, that could work out perfectly for him, making this a little bit earlier of a pit stop, putting the tires onto the Fastenal number 17 ride, could potentially leapfrog him out in front of a lot of these drivers, and I think, here we go, that's going to bring a lot of other drivers down pit road as well. As you see TJ Allen, Jack Fletcher, next time around, they come down pit side. Same with Josh Crider, Brandon Holder, Grant Wesley, also down pit road. Now, we did see Tyler Honeycutt done his pit stop. We saw Brian Underwood and Jonathan Gaston also pit right there with them as well. So these drivers getting done what could be their final stops of the day. We'll have to wait and see how long Jordan Hand and some of these other drivers elect to stay out here and keep on rolling. They got a lot of fuel left in their tank, and if they expect to see maybe some late race caution flags, some NASCAR overtime, having that extra little bit of fuel, that extra little bit of tire, may be a huge benefit to your day at the Speedway. As you see Abram Ghostin, Danny White, Scott Lee, they're going to make their way down pit road here on lap number 141. But for Jordan Hand, things out here a little bit longer, but here he comes down pit side. So he doesn't wait too much longer, but does run about 2 or 3 laps more than a lot of the drivers that were right there on his back bumper. As you do see the 3 ride of Jonathan Elardo also down pit road, and unfortunately here for the Clemson Tiger Toyota Camry, he's going to head down pit road right here, and he will earn a black flag. Too fast entering pit road. You see kind of tire lockup right there. He knows he's coming in hot. He's trying to scrub off that speed. Unfortunately, does not work out for him. He gets a pit road speeding penalty, and so does it the 76 of Farrell Robbins. So Farrell Robbins and Jonathan Elardo both getting pit road speeding violations, and for both drivers, they will have to stay down in their pit stall for a little while longer. But for Sean Merriman, Willie Smith, John Sheen, they're still rolling out there now. For Smith and Sheen, obviously they're going to go quite a bit farther than a lot of these other drivers. Even Brookover, we saw them kind of stretch out that fuel run. The first wave of green flag pit stops here not too long ago, but here we go. We do see Sean Merriman finally working his way down pit road, as he was virtually right at his 30-lap marker there for his pit strategy. So ran it almost pretty much dry right there, running 30 laps and then taking this car right back down pit side. For Willie Smith, he will consume the race lead. Willie will lead some more laps, and now the big question mark will be, I don't think these guys are going to be able to make it here on fuel. I thought maybe they'd be able to make it. Maybe they'd be able to go far enough if they could run about 35, 36 laps to a tank of fuel. But it seems like, 30 laps is about as far as they can stretch it. And they've only ran 20 laps of this feature event. Now, I don't think they should wait as long as what they did last time. Even though, they're good on fuel, they're good on tires. I mean, if they're going to run this strategy, what they need is a caution flag. They need a yellow flag now. They need a yellow flag very, very soon, or at least I would say within the next 3 to 5 laps, they need a caution flag, because I don't think these guys can wait as long as they can to come back down pit road. If they do pit back on lap 155, giving themselves only 12 laps with fresh tires to try to make up some ground, to gain some positions out there on the speedway, I don't think that's going to work into their favor. That's not going to give them a lot to be able to battle back and put themselves into a winning position. But you do see one driver trying to be in that winning position, I believe, making a little bit of a different pit road strategy call here, and Brandon Holder will end up with what could be the race lead here. Now, he just unlapped himself from the 55 ride, but he is in front of this number 17 of Tyler Honeycutt. Honeycutt's trying to chase him down. Jordan Hand would be there in what is classified as the 3rd position through this pit cycle. Jack Fletcher is in position number 4. Grant Wesley could be rounding out our top 5, as we do see Brookover in the Fireball number 7. He's down pit road. He's making his final stop of the day. And now we do see Willie Smith going to see that number 31 put himself back on the lead lap here. So for Brandon Holder, he races his way back onto the lead lap. And now obviously, if there is a late race caution flag, being on this lead lap would make it potentially a 3-car battle here for the race win. Finding some more caution flags here, but for a lot of these drivers, They desperately want to see Willie Smith and John Sheen come down pit road. They are begging not to see another caution flag. They do not want to see a yellow flag, them being trapped a lap down or potentially multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. And they also do not want to potentially see, you know, them having to take a wave around or something that kind of comes up and blocks them and keeps them from being able to get back into the battle or have their strategy play out into their favor here. As you do see Tyler Honeycutt, he works his way around the number 75 ride here, and for Willie Smith, we'll give the 17 a lap back as well. So as of right now, only 4 drivers are on the lead lap, and if they want the strategy to play into their favor, I think for Willie Smith and John Sheen, they desperately need this caution flag. They need a yellow. They need something to go their way to put themselves into a prime position late in this race. But for right now, if things kind of cycle back around, if they do have to make that green flag pit stop, it should move the 31 of Brandon Holder to the race lead. But Holder, you may have Tyler Honeycutt chasing him down. I know Holder is definitely not scared to take a 2-tire swing here, and instead of putting 4 tires on, maybe do 2 tires, make it a quicker pit stop here. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to give him enough fuel that'll help him out in the long run to be able to make it to the checkered flag this afternoon, or if maybe they're trying to get this track position exactly what the 31 ride is looking for. But we're clicking down the laps and we're inching closer and closer to our checkered flag here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, hit the like button on the stream for us, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today, and hit the join button as well, become part of the Peacemaker sub club, the Peacemaker members club here this evening by hitting that join button, man. Less than the price of a Big Mac, less than the price of a junior chicken here in Canada, man. A junior chicken costs $3.89 now for a junior chicken, or a McDouble here in Canada. $3.89. It is $2.99 to be a member here on Peacemaker Gaming. So less than one small burger at McDonald's a month. Become part of the Peacemaker sub club, gains you exclusive video access, gains you exclusive content, and it also gains you exclusive custom emotes there of Peacemaker Gaming in the comment section. As Willie Smith makes his green flag pit stop here, I think they may have heard my words of wisdom. Now, they did push it still quite a ways, but this will give them about 14 laps of green flag racing to try to use these tires to their advantage. So we'll have to wait and see kind of how that plays out for the 55 and the 75 ride, as I just don't think that's going to give them a whole lot of time to really gain as much track position as I think they could with the much fresher tires out there on the speedway. But here we go, battle for the race lead. It's Tyler Honeycutt trying to take the top spot, back away from Brandon Holder. They get tied together. Honeycutt's into the outside fence. Big hit there for the 17. Still up in the outside lane. No caution flag as of yet. It stayed clean and green. Brandon Holder with a ton of damage here on the 31. I believe has already used his quick repair. This may cost Brandon Holder a good finish here this evening, but we do see Holder and Honeycutt both making their way back down pit road, and a heartbreaker here for Tyler Honeycutt, man. Having such a good run, such a good race. Now, I'm not sure if he would have won this. I'm not sure if he would have been able to hold off that 10 of Jordan Hand, but nonetheless, contact here between the two of them exiting corner number 2. Now, I'm not sure if potentially if the 17 tries to move up, tries to clear that 31 a Holder, or if Holder's trying to get a little sign draft off of them. Nonetheless, they get tied together and shoots the 17 right back up the racetrack. Here we go. We're going to get a great look at it right here. Yeah, it looks like the 31. I don't know if he just gets loose right here, or kind of just up against the fence, and the 17 getting a little arrow loose. Kind of washes down, back up, and then back down. They run out of room, they make contact, and it shoves not only the 17 nose up into the outside fence, but very solid damage there for the 31 a Holder as well. And you see the 10 right at Jordan Hand, able to keep his foot in the throttle and able to just kind of roll right on by those guys, and now out in front and has that race lead. Jordan Hand's feeling A-okay here at the front of the field. He is definitely loving exactly what he saw out of that front windshield as he was able to dodge it. No caution flag. It does not bring these drivers back to his rear bumper. And now down across the line, clicking off lap 157. We get 10 laps left to go. And for Jordan Hand, he's got a 2.6 second gap between himself and Jack Fletcher. He's also got 2 lap better tires than Jack Fletcher. So for Jordan Hand, he is sitting in the winning position here late in this race. As Fletcher there in P2. We see our pole sitter Grant Wesley trying to battle here with Sean Merriman. Now Merriman does have 4 lap better tires than the 88 ride, and for Merriman, looks like he will slide up into that 3rd position on the speedway. Here comes that 22 of Abram Ghostin. Ghostin having himself a great run, great drive here this evening. Probably one of the best runs we've seen out of the 22 of Abram here this season. So great to see him having a good run out there on the racetrack and putting together a great race for us here this afternoon. The 5 rider Josh Crider, he's right there in position number 6. He's looking for a couple more spots here late in this race, and so isn't Danny White, who sits in 7th. Jeremy Jeffries in 8th, and then we do see Willie Smith with much better tires than a lot of these drivers here in front of him. Rolls in that 9th position on the speedway. Now this puts him into a really, really good spot. Unfortunately, though, with the better tires, man, he doesn't have a lot of laps left in his back pocket, and he's about 4 seconds back of Jeremy Jeffries. Is even farther back here of Danny White and Josh Crider, about 6 seconds back behind these guys. So he's running out of time in a quick hurry, but the rest of the field is running out of time to try to hunt down Jordan Hand. His Hand out in front will complete lap 160 here this evening. So 160 laps down, only 7 laps left to go. And for Jordan Hand in this beautiful memorial paint scheme, looking to try to find victory lane, man. We absolutely love it, man. The rest in peace Jaden on board here with this beautiful Chevrolet this afternoon. A heavy heart and a heavy throttle for Jordan Hand, and he's looking to bring this memorial paint scheme up and into victory lane here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, what a run, what a race, what a mother fluffing storyline we got going here this evening as Jordan Hand out in front, trying to get the dub here, not only for himself, but for Jaden as well. And as he continues to hold on to this top spot, he's seeing these laps click down, just hoping not to see a late race caution flag, as he knows it's 5 laps left to go. He's stretching that race lead out more and more, as he's got about 3.4 seconds now between himself and Jack Fletcher. And for Jordan Hand, he's on cruise control, trying to bring himself up and into victory lane, as we do see Abram Ghostin trying to make the move around Sean Merriman for position number 3. Man, what a run this would be for Abram Ghostin, man. Even just the top 5 run is going to feel like a win for this 22 ride, as this is the best performance we've seen out of him here in our first 8 races of the season now. And obviously, if he can back it up with a top 3 performance, man, would definitely be a win in his books. But he's trying to get around this number 18 ride, trying to work his way around Sean Merriman. Merriman trying to stay here in this podium position, but we'll have to see who's going to come out with this 3rd spot on the racetrack. But out in front, Jordan Hand, man, just a man on a mission here this evening, down across the line here at Kentucky Speedway. He will see only 3 laps left to go. So 3 more laps left for Jordan Hand to try to pick up the dub here this evening. And down through corner 1 and 2, man, he's still pulling farther and farther away from Jack Fletcher. It's almost 4 seconds now between 1st and 2nd. And for Jordan Hand, man, it is just cruise control, hoping to see it stay clean and green, hoping to find his way up into victory lane, as we do see the 75 of Willie Smith able to work his way around Jeremy Jeffries late in this race. And for Willie Smith, at least up into the 8th position here. I think if they would have came down pit road a little bit sooner, they would have had a little bit better track position and still quite a bit better tires, that they may have been able to come home with a good solid, top 6, top 5 run potentially here this evening. But for Jordan Hand, out in front, nice and easy, down through corner number 3, out at corner number 4, back down and across the start-finish line for Jordan Hand. He will see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for Mr. Hand as he looks to try and claim victory here in Kentucky, as he's got Jaden riding on board with them down the back straightaway for the final time here this evening. Jordan Hand down into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. And it is the Spider-Man Memorial Paint Schemed number 10 of Jordan Hand who will find victory lane here in race number 8 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League's 7th season. As Jordan Hand gets it done here in this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see some congratulations up in the comment section for that number 10 ride, man. And for Jack Fletcher coming home in second, Sean Merriman gonna round out our top 3. Some great performances, man, some amazing runs and some absolute amazing racing here this evening. A few caution flags, but a ton of green flag laps, a ton of green flag racing. And now for Jordan Hand, he gets to burn down the house and celebrate here at Kentucky Speedway, man. He's going to be pumped up about this one. We can't wait to get Jordan and the rest of our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. Post-race interviews coming up next. We'll get Jordan, the rest of our top 3 up here into the booth as he burns down the house here and celebrates a big dub here this evening. Let's get him and the rest of our top 3 up here into the booth. Sean Merriman, he's already in there. We're waiting for Jordan Hand to slide into that waiting room, and then we'll pull our race winner in first here this evening. So we'll wait for him to slide in there after he's just getting done a celebration. All right, here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Jordan Hand. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy? Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the booth. Did you get a copy? All right. We could not connect there with Jordan, which is very interesting. Let's try it again here. He's back in there. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
What's going on, buddy? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, brother. Good to see you not only back out there on the racetrack, but back up here in the victory lane as well, man, as you pick up the dub here in Kentucky, brother. Take us back through what's going through your mind after 167 laps of racing action.
And it was a blast. I had a good time. It's good to come back. We're in the off season in my other league, so I wanted to come back to home roots and run some races with the guys. It feels good to be back. Yeah, man, it was a blast. It was, I had to get used to running an ARCA car again. It's been so damn long, so pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it didn't seem like it took you very long at all because, you've only been back and running for a couple races, and here you are putting yourself right up into victory lane, keeping a lot of these fast cats back there behind you, and virtually what was a perfectly ran final stage of this race, just playing the cards right here this afternoon with these late race pit stops, and then, just finding yourself, being 3-4 seconds in front of the field here, driving into victory lane on cruise control.
Yeah, man, it was a blast. I just had turns 3 and 4 down, and I knew we'd had to take care of the tires in 1 and 2. People wanted to just overdrive it and kill them, so I was just conservative. I think on every run, I was pretty much just started in the either like barely inside the top 10 or outside of it. So I would say for a little bit, and then come through the field towards the back end of the run. And I don't know if you saw it. Did you see me pit that one time? I was like the only one. I pitted from the lead.
I did, yes.
Were you wondering why I pitted?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to come back through the field and pass Melvin again.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just fun. I was having a blast passing, and it's just and we've been running trucks so much, and I just hate that damn game. I hate that truck. So it's nice to get in a car where you can actually pass and tires mean something. So I just had so much fun. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, looked like you were having a lot of fun, a lot of great racing out there. We did see Melvin give you a little bit of a body slam the one time by the start finish line there as well. Is there
Hmm.
some animosity there built up between the two of you?
I guess, man. I guess he didn't like me coming back and passing him 50 times. So I don't know. I was quite a bit faster than him, and I mean Melvin's a good racer. He's fast. He just I don't know. He cracks me up. He just side drives so damn hard sometimes for no reason. So I there was one time I swung out the rear end a little bit too much. So I'll admit I messed up there. But I think Melvin just you'd have thought we were racing at Martinsville with the way his short temper was, but it is what it is. It's Melvin's a good dude. He's a good driver. But yeah, man, it was a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always that much fun, especially when you get to park yourself up in the victory lane, man. Jordan, we saw a bit of a special paint scheme on this race car tonight. I don't know if you knew that paint scheme was on, but we saw the, rest in peace Jaden on board there, the Spider-Man paint scheme here this afternoon. Story there for that one?
Oh, but I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I normally run the optic scheme, as you know, and I took it off, and this is just a random paint that I found on Trading Paint. So no, I didn't. I wish I knew. That's horrible. I didn't know that. So well, at least we won for the guy. It's sad. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought there was going to be a great storyline there and something special here this afternoon for you and the
Oh
paint
Lord.
scheme, but not tonight. But I mean, hey, shout out to Jaden and may he rest in peace. And shout out to Spider Man as he was riding on board with you here as well this afternoon. So, Jordan, man, great run, great race though, nonetheless. As you park yourself back up here in victory lane in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, brother, who'd you like to thank for another great run and great performance out there on the racetrack?
I guess number one, I got to shout out Jaden. So hopefully, if his family ever gets to watch this, shout out him and his family. But shout out my boys over in Redemption, and shout out to Brian and Josh for letting me come out tonight and race. And thank you for putting on the broadcast. And just a lot of good drivers in this league, man. So it was fun to race with them, and hopefully get to race for them a little bit more.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack and maybe right back up here in victory lane at Pocono. Is also, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Gaston put up $15 bounty here for last week's race and this one and next week's at Pocono. So you got to get a hold of Mr. Gaston because you also earned yourself not the win, but $15 here this afternoon as well.
Hey, I didn't know that. Heck yeah, we'll take it. Well, you said next week's Pocono?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm pretty decent there, but I bet Brian wins that. That's his track. I'll give him. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can give him a run for his money.
Absolutely. Hey, maybe try to steal another $15 there from Mr. Gaston as you're able to claim the bounty he had here on this race this afternoon as you pull yourself up into victory lane. Jordan, congratulations on the dub, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack and maybe up there battling Mr. Underwood for the dub next Saturday night.
Hey, you never know. Appreciate it, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Jordan Hand, as Jordan picks up the dub and pulls himself into victory lane here this evening as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the number 14 rider, Jack Fletcher.
Was almost
Hey,
hit it.
Jack, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
What's going on, man?
Not much, Jack. Great run, great race for yourself here this evening, man. Obviously, we see you win that first stage of the day. We see you run at the front of the field, lead a ton of laps here this evening. Unfortunately, though, late in this race, just a little bit better pitch strategy, a little bit better tire. Jordan Hand able to find his way into the winner's circle, but you back it up with a very solid second place run.
Yeah, I'll take it. First time actually running a race here. I had to buy this track again for this week, so it's nice to definitely stay in the top 5. That was kind of the goal, so pretty happy with that. And I'm not sure if I had some sort of an issue or something because my left side tires were just completely dead in that last run, and I took 4 at the end. So I don't know if I was doing something totally wrong or if maybe I only took 2, I guess, or I don't know. Maybe threw scuffs on the left side, but not making any excuses. Jordan Hand was definitely super fast today. I don't know if I would have had anything for him anyway, but yeah, just happy with the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a very solid top three performance. A good point state here for you. Is I'm not sure what the regular season standings are looking like for you out there on the speedway, but obviously being able to already have 2 wins under your belt, now an extra stage point and a bonus point in your back pocket, trying to build those up so that way it can make it a little easier for you throughout our playoffs. Obviously, getting this win would have been a big one. Would have added a good amount of bonus points for you here going into our first round of the playoffs in about a month from now.
Yeah, I can't be too upset. I'll take P2 all day, and I think this will keep me close to the front. It'll keep me in the front, at least right now for the regular season's points. Really, it all matters in the playoffs. So just kind of trying to learn as much as I can before then. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. But I believe getting some bonus points as well there for the regular season championship. Always good to have that in your back pocket as well. And honestly, I mean, you keep running the way you are and getting the wins and getting these good, solid top two runs. Winning that regular season championship and getting all these bonus points, man, may make it easy breezy to work your way through the first 2 rounds and try to work your way into that championship for season finale races.
That would be nice. I'll be honest, I'm not really approaching it with much strategy. I just try to run the best finish I can every race and just try and keep the average finish down. And I feel like that's a good enough strategy to keep me up the front. And then, like I said, the playoffs is going to for sure be interesting to see how. I've never raced under this kind of format, so it'll be interesting to see how I deal with the pressure in the last few races, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be very interesting to see. And here tonight, man, it was a very interesting race. A few caution flags, a lot of different pitch strategies. Late in it, man, you find yourself up here in position number 2 and parking yourself back up onto the podium. Jack, who would you like to thank again here tonight for another amazing run and another great performance out there on the speedway?
A big thank you to my teammates again. They're all very handy, keeping each other in check, making sure we had our fast repairs on or off as needed. I think we actually all finished in the top 10 today, which is actually phenomenal. So that's a fantastic run from us. And obviously thank you to Josh and Brian for running the league, all that good stuff. And thank you, sir, for putting on a good show that I get to watch tomorrow while I'm at work.
Beauty. Well, brother, hopefully enjoy it. And obviously, you know the outcome, so don't be too surprised. But the 14 ride comes home in position number 2. Jack, congrats on the great run. Congrats on the great race. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the Speedway next Saturday night.
Thank you, brother. Take it easy, man.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Mr. Jack Fletcher. As we get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, the number 18 of Sean Merriman. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, Aaron, how's it going?
Not too bad, Sean, man. Another good run, another great race here for you. As we see you leading some laps, you're battling there at the front of the field, playing some different pit strategy here, and obviously late in this race has you up inside the top 3 for what was a very solid podium run. But you had to battle hard there for a while between yourself and Abram Ghostin, Wesley, and Crider were all right there, but you're able to hold them off and still come home here with a very solid podium run this afternoon, brother. Take us back through it and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, you mentioned Abram there. I got to give him a shout out. We had a real good battle there the last 5 or so laps and kept it completely clean. I knew I drove by him at the beginning of that run, and then he got back to me, and so I just kind of tried to keep him pinned to the bottom so he couldn't get up off 2 or off 4 as fast as he could. And yeah, I really appreciate him racing me clean there and not trying to door me in the wall. So big shout out to him. But yeah, it was a solid track for me. Got up to the lead there, and I was talking to Jack before he pulled him into the interview, and I just fell asleep one restart. I went from first to 16th, something like that, around lap 95. I was just kind of riding at that point, and I guess everybody else was on kill mode trying to get to the checkered flag at lap 100 or something, which I didn't know that was when the checkered flag was. And it was all I could do not to get run over there, and had to claw my way back the rest of the race. But that's fun. I love tracks like Kentucky that you get some tire wear and you kind of feel like you got to race the track more than you got to race other people. And I saw a lot of people kind of running the opposite way, and they just burn their right front up, and you drive by them a couple laps later and put 3-4 seconds on them. So tracks like that are really fun to me. Just do my own thing and kind of let everybody else kind of fall away as the race goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes slow is good out there, and taking care of your equipment, taking care of those tires can be the make or break that you need to try to find yourself up here on the podium or in the victory lane. And obviously for yourself and Han, Fletcher, you guys did a fantastic job at that here this evening, and you back it up with a performance here, a good performance up and in that third position here this evening. Sean, who'd you like to thank for another great run and another great drive out there on the racetrack?
First, I need to shout out my bosses because I was in a training today that 4 hours away, and they let us out early. And the only reason I managed to get home in time to race tonight, I was not expecting to be here tonight. So shout out to them for not wasting too much of our time. Shout out my wife, son, parents, brother, sister, nieces, the guys with the PSCRL league, awesome league. I guess must have done some recruiting because they got some fast new guys out there the past 2 weeks. And you with the broadcast, I love going back and watching races. At least when I do well, give me something to watch. But yeah, shout out to all those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to the newcomers. Shout out to all the team there, and obviously for yourself, Sean, for a very solid third place finish here this evening from Kentucky Speedway, brother. Great run, great drive. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Saturday night, and maybe right back up here into the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better, and into victory lane yourself.
Hopefully, that's, I think, 3 podiums in the last 4 races or so. The only thing I don't have is a win, so I need to cross that off the list here soon.
Absolutely, brother. We'll be looking forward to it.
All right, see you later.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Sean Merriman. Merriman comes home in position number 3 and rounds out our podium here this evening as these drivers will get loaded up. They'll go from Kentucky and they're headed their way to the Pocono Speedway, or actually I guess it's Pocono Raceway next Saturday night, man. The Tricky Triangle, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be really, really interesting to see how drivers are going to play that one out. I know Brian's really good there. Jordan talked about that. We've had a lot of other drivers go to Pocono and put on some really, really good performances there, man. Big, wide racetrack. We've seen some craziness. We've seen some chaos there, but at the same point in time, we could see exactly what we saw here tonight, man. A lot of good, hard, door-to-door racing action and a lot of good, solid green flag laps being laid down as well. So it could be a very, very fun night again for all of us here to enjoy next Saturday night. And hopefully we'll see all of you guys right back up in the grandstands, cheering these drivers on and watching some more amazing racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. As Anna says, good night, guys. Good night, Anna. Appreciate you tuning in. She also says, congratulations, Jordan. You did a great job. He absolutely did a fantastic job in claiming today's checkered flag here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. If you haven't already, it's not too late. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the broadcast for us. Hit that subscribe button. Become a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here today. And make sure, yes, tune in tomorrow, man. We got some more racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. We'll be live 3 times tomorrow. 3 separate broadcasts starting at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll be back up here in the booth for the Outcast Racing League. Following that, we got some dirt track racing action with the Speedway Alliance Racing League. And then we finish off the night as we jump in the action with the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League as well. So we have quite a bit of racing, quite a bit of action, and 3 trips up here into the broadcast booth tomorrow night to bring you guys all the amazing racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. Unfortunately, though, that's going to do it for us here in this one. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all later, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
engines roar, the night ignites. Rubber burns under neon lights. Chrome shining, stars align. Dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow. Pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke. Lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room.